opponent spawning the top left. He is going to be the ever dangerous blue Terran, MarineLorD.
They
I
were
want to be
definitely
perfectly clear. These guys all know each other. They're friends with each other. This isn't going to be like questions of BM. This is just like banter between buddies.
The only thing that's kind of concerning, right, is that there is like legitimate rules when you sign up for this for like what do they call it, right?
Conduct.
Thank you, conduct rules, right? So I know like people have joked about it before about like telling on their friends for this type of shit too. Like it's actually in game is also probably the worst you can do. Like lobby's different, but no one's gonna be like that.
You could actually argue, right? 100% in my opinion, you could argue that there was such a lack of information. How would players know what the rules were for it? And then, I mean, like, there'd be the argument for common sense and blah, blah, blah. But no, like, really, there was nothing posted until 9 hours ago. I would not expect any player to have memorized the rules in that time period. And for anyone to have expect that is insane to me.
Plus, there's always, like, along similar lines, you're not supposed to have different colors. Like pink, for instance. But
yeah, red and blue was the DreamHack rules, at least.
yeah, so there's like a lot of like extra rules, and I guess they're a little bit different from tournament to tournament, but they're still in the umbrella of like Blizzard put this out right back when they announced it, and no one cares. Don't go. It would be like a really douchey move. I actually wonder what would happen. The one guy that no one likes, right, and he hates everyone, and he hates fun, no fun allowed, tries to get a win. Oh. I wasn't actually thinking of anyone specific.
I know.
But he actually tries to get one of these rules to get him a free win, right? I wonder what would actually happen. Do you think that they would be realistic and just be like, shut up? Or would they go, you know, full American on it and be like, well, technically you can sue that person?
So I actually have somewhat experience in this. We got a small poke
actually,
coming
this
up.
is, kind of important.
Yeah, this is going to be the command center. We had this happen with Cost earlier, and it looks like MarineLorD will pull the SCV away right away, and the Reaper comes back home. So unlike the map on Apotheosis versus Cass, this isn't really far away. It's something where the Reaper gets back with respectable timing. The SCVs are actually getting pulled into this, though, so MarineLorD really... Oh, is it overreacting?
Yeah, it is... I think it's far enough along that the Reaper would have gotten back, but... Because exactly, it's not Apotheosis Frozen Temple. I think the Reaper gets back here in time, the Marines pop out in time to save it, even if it does start to get into, like, the red. So the SCV pool was a little weird. He loses 4 SCVs for it. 3 extra than what was, you know, what could have happened.
Dang.
Okay, so that happens. The Reaper does go back to doing what it wanted, but unfortunately, as it comes back, speed finishes, so it's probably only get, like, 1 more scout, but, what were you saying about your experience with it? About a douche that tried to, I guess... use the rules.
Oh, right, me trying to get the rules enforced at DreamHack, like trying to get the admins
to
enforce
sorry.
the rules.
Okay.
It ended up being them just, even though the rule clearly stated the person should have been disqualified, it ended up just being a warning into a second warning into a third warning into nothing happening. So I mean, we're. I kind of feel like it's hard to actually get somebody in trouble.
It is, yeah, it feels that way. Alright, so the scout didn't go into the main base, he just tried to scout if there's a third, you know, trying to deny the drone for a second. Didn't really do so, and actually manages to get away, so he can come back later. But speaking of scouting, MarineLorD unfortunately didn't have his Marines in position, and Miniraser does see everything that's going on. It's a very typical build, now second barracks. Had he seen the number of Marines, it also would have told him, really. And the point is, he just has to know when to defend, and he should. This is being used by everyone.
So going back for a moment to the previous series of Miniraser versus Koss, of course, we saw a lot of Lings, a lot of Banelings, eventual Ultralisks. Do you think he sticks with that style versus MarineLorD? Is that just like his one-trick pony aspect to it?
So, not to like be mean to Cass, right? And Cass readily, you know, said that he hadn't even warmed up. If Miniraser plays the exact same as that last best of 3 ZVT, I think he'll just lose. So. Either he does play the same style, but he kind of like tightens, you know, the actual execution, or he changes it up. I actually kind of forgot that we've been following Miniraser the entire time, and he already faced a Terran, so now I'm like super worried.
The thing for me that was so weird about it, I thought at least, was it did feel like a lot of Koss's game was Koss leaving openings and making mistakes.
Oh, wait. Yes, yeah, I know you brought that up. This isn't what you're supposed to do. 1 medevac? Hellions? This is the right build, you know. He just didn't swap the starport onto the reactor. What? I guess, yeah, adding in these Hellions, it's a bit different take on a build I've been seeing a lot of. So it's going to be less about the medevac. In fact, nothing about the medevac because it's instantly denied. That wasn't supposed to happen.
But
more about these
even then,
Hellions.
the positioning here is really great for that fight. So the Lings get taken out right away. Now there's a good chunk of Queens left, but they can't fight this on their own. Stim's done. Gets on top of these Queens. Focuses down that first one. No transfuses left, and Miniraser is without an army.
Yeah. Oh, but there was an attack here. Of course, Miniraser doing exactly what he did versus Chaos with this Overlord drop, and that is taking the attention away from MarineLorD's main push, but it's still going pretty strong. Imagine if it had that medevac, this would never be cleaned up. I really actually quite like this addition, because when you really think about it, all Zergs are trying to defend without Banelings. Even with Banelings, you know, they can be sniped too. But the point is, these Hellions are that little bit extra that means the mass Ling Floods aren't quite cutting it. Now, it does get cleaned up, but Miniraser had to make so many extra Lings for that. He stopped droning. He lost drones as well, 9 to 9, in fact, perfectly even. But whatever it is, at the end of the day, MarineLorD's up 4 workers, and you're not supposed to be up workers, Terran. Okay, you spoke too soon. More Hellions, though, and they're in a good position. This might just be a waste of Lings for Miniraser. I think it is. Even getting a Hellion's not worth. Oof, that's not so good. He's in a very bad position. He does certainly have upgrades on his side, though. In fact, +2 weapons already on the way, and MarineLorD hasn't even started his. He was supposed to start his engineering base probably as the drop happened, which is quite unfortunate. But he certainly has other leads that might make up for that. Oh, there's a medevac again, though.
This is turning into one of those things where it is, again, scrappier than perhaps expected or needs be.
Oh, I didn't notice. Dr. Honkin is a new sub.
Oh,
hey.
new sub hype. I didn't hear the sound go off, unless maybe it happened while he was stimming.
Yeah, right?
A real stim went off as the sub stims went up. But Dr. Honkin, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel.
Woo. I really like
around with these Lings before the fight even begins. Hellions get taken down right away, and MarineLorD does have to walk away from this. That 1-1 upgrade lead for Miniraser is going to be great. He's going to maintain that, actually. He may even have +2 before MarineLorD's on 1-1.
He will with those melee upgrades. Oops, pinged. Miniraser's on his way.
I was going to say, who pinged as Miniraser? Because normally the observer pings don't look like that.
Yeah. But I was going to say, I really like the addition of the Hellions initially, and I feel like this is another situation where if the execution was just a little bit more fine-tuned, you know, like the medevac doesn't die, and then the second medevac doesn't die, this is actually a great addition to the pushes. Like, these Hellions are really adding a little something that's, you know, making Miniraser stop and wonder if Lings and Mass Lings are really the way to go. But he is losing drops, and I think the idea is still very similar to what Byun does, right? Even though there's Hellions that are just Mass Marines, but the point is you're not really supposed to lose anything. It all comes together eventually with like this huge main push, and then you really make the Zerg sweat. But this is not that big of a main push. Might be big enough still. 33 Lings, no Banelings despite having a Baneling nest.
Yeah, I mean, the upgrade lead 2-1 is kind of
Oh,
massive,
no.
but if they all die to a Widow Mine, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the Widowmines kind of helped though. Miniraser did a lot of splash. And those Hellions are so almost dead. Armory, by the way, so this is I think what else happened besides the lack of upgrades. Some of those fights should have had 1-1, right? Is also he didn't bother getting the armory faster either. So that probably could have been done 30 seconds, maybe even a minute longer, or before. I don't know the exact build, but that could have been helpful too. You know, clearly Hellbats, they're tankier, but they also get healed. So I could see this being a really powerful 1-2 punch. Things have gotten a little bit awkward, you know, on both sides. Miniraser took a long time to get the Banelings. Maybe you should have gotten there faster. MarineLorD's lost a lot of medevacs. Maybe you shouldn't have. But it's kind of still an even game. Miniraser is able to get to a decent drone count despite being on such a low one for such a long time. He has those upgrades. And being 15, 20 supply down, that's something he can make up with good, you know, attacking on creep, having Baneling speed, counterattacks, which he's been very good at. Trying to get those Widow Mines detonate. He does get most of the Widow Mines. There's a couple on the backside. There's not a lot of Banelings left over. Trying to hit the heart of the Marines. More Banelings do just form, and it should be pushed back here. Queens all live too, so creep should be instantly replanted. And Miniraser's looking actually strong after this. Oh god, I almost lost the medevac again. But he's denied his third base for so long.
Yeah, this is for MarineLorD. You gotta be like think a little bit of frustration. Like, does he realize the upgrades are what the biggest difference is? Once those bridge that gap, will he suddenly be in a better spot? But even then, like Hellbats are coming out, lots of Marines are coming out. We're not seeing any moves move towards what is going to be necessary to counter this hive tech.
Yeah, he doesn't know about it. It's been a bit of a wonky game, but I think this is still a case where you get the feeling in your gut that Hive's on the way, so MarineLorD is probably wanting to wait for the 2-2. Probably want to wait for just more units in general, but Miniraser, here's where he could make a mistake for sure, is at being way too bold off of creep while going for that hive.
This actually happened a couple of times before with that game versus Koss, where the splits were all right and he was off creep, and this is still not too bad from MarineLorD just yet, although never mind, he gets connects on those SCVs to that mineral line. It walks away. And actually, if you hit Control R real quick, this looks scary reminiscent to the exact same Workers Killed when he was fighting Koss on this map.
Yeah, it's a lot of workers killed. Yeah, I remember looking at the workers still alive and seeing 33 for a long time. So the worrying part about that little push right there, oh, this odd Viking, is that Miniraser, like, what if he just actually supremely fails? Like, a Widowmine gets the greatest hit in the world on his Banelings, and then MarineLorD instantly counterattacks. That's what's
really
scary. But, you know, I think he did enough damage. I think he had enough time to recover. He has creeps for to fall back on, too, that he can be aggressive relentlessly for some time still. And in fact, finds MarineLorD without the split initially, even if it's off of creep. And I think he just won with this one, with this push. Yeah, he did. GG. Ooh, Marine. I feel like Miniraser's just been getting every single game better and better.
Yeah. Again, just answering that question of why. He asked, like, why would you want to cast me? And this is pretty much why.
They announced custom mutations.
So, like,
Nice.
oh.
Wait, how much of it did they discuss?
I don't know if they talked about the coolest personal part, but just that. I'm like,
damn it, because that's what I want to talk about.
Ah, no, it's just a talking video. That's useless.
Okay,
to me.
well, guys, we'll tell you the spoiler, here, right? Nothing will get us in trouble, but there's some really cool. Like, I already love co-op, and I'll just say all the stuff they're announcing at Gamescom. There's even more for it that's still coming, and I'm very excited for co-op, more so than I think most people are.
I love that they focus on co-op a lot, because it is something that can gain a lot of traction and get people really interested in StarCraft, but at the same time, I feel like it's that expense of Archon mode. They're like, Archon mode's gonna be the greatest. Huh, wait a second, people seem to like the co-op better. Okay, we'll focus more on co-op, and then Archon's just forgotten about.
Archon could be remedied. They have the data in there with co-op mode. Like, I don't know why it can't just be applied to Archon mode. Like, especially the cameras and stuff.
Reasons, man. I don't know. It sucks. Hold on. So, like, people are TLDRing it, like, in the Reddit thread.
Yeah, we obviously can't watch it right now, but... Anyways, getting into the lobby for Game 2 is going to be... What? Dawson Station?
Yeah, so this thing, this got in with TLO versus Miniraser, so I guess it made its way back in here. I mean, it's been a long enough time that people probably certainly have snipe builds on it. But it might also be just a thing where, like, certain situations of getting a weirder map in your best of 3 will probably benefit the one player or another. Everyone thought this would never be chosen, though. Everyone was like, no, that would, it's only going to benefit, like, Bly or someone, but... We're seeing it more and more. We're actually seeing Galactic Process far less, which is so weird. Because that was supposed to be, like, probably the new Dusk Towers, to be honest. When we saw it in the map tournament, it was plain, it was, normal, it was Cloud Kingdom. And instead, it's, like, never played. Oh, well. Here we are on Dawson Station in the top middle left-ish. It is the Blue Terran MarineLorD.
Who's behind, apparently.
Yeah.
In the middle right, on the bottom side, is going to be the red Zerg player, Miniraser. Now, again, this is a bit of a wonky map. I could not really tell you which way this goes. Because, A, we actually don't see this picked enough. A lot of maps like Galactic Process and, for example, New Gettysburg, it's played so often, you can kind of even talk about the game just from a general sense, but this map is left to be decided a lot of the time, and we don't actually see it played that often, so never really know whether players are going to go for the middle base early or going to take that outward expansion. I will say the single greatest thing they did to improve this map, though, was add those rocks near the gold base. Gives you the opportunity to actually defend that base if you want to take it.
Yeah. Yeah, this one over here. So, generally, I gotta figure this was MarineLorD's map choice after the vetoes were done. Like, you end up, Dason's able to be chosen, and you get to choose one of the maps, and then the last one's defaults. But Miniraser let it also slip through versus TLO, and I wasn't sure whose choice it was there. But generally, people are accepting that Terran has a better time, especially in the early to mid game. Late game, there's actually talk more about how Zerg enjoys the map more. And when you consider that they're the ones that have more counterattack opportunities, especially Miniraser, who had some really good ones last game, you start expanding to, like, third base, not so bad. Fourth base, still okay, especially based on the rocks. But you get to fifth bases, or you don't expand in kind of like as close as possible. You try to expand, like, out here for whatever reason. Mutas will get on top of you. Lings will break down all the rocks and get on top of you no matter what. Hell, we even saw, like, I think it was Guru, right, go for swarm hosts. Because the map is so small, they can kind of get to base to base to base without much of a problem. Very good harassment units. So it's all about, I suppose, how long this game goes to see who has more strength in it. And they both go for macro builds as an opener, too. It's not about Reapers being really strong early game for Terran, as they would be on, like, Frozen Temple or something like that. It's about Siege Tanks in the mid game being very strong with these chokes. Are we having the same build? It does look that way. So again, this is like the typical build. Faster second barracks with the tech lab on the way, and then the factory. The question, however, is apparently for MarineLorD, does he swap the reactor or not? Notice he didn't have guys. He didn't have all the guys on gas until just now. So that might be the big difference. Because he's gonna get that second medevac super quick. We'll see. Oh, let's Reaper throw a grenade. No. And now it's gonna die. Gonna die, because speed's about to finish. Gonna die.
It's gonna keep
Come
saying
on.
Just keep saying it. Just keep saying it.
Come on. Come on. Okay, well. We do have an evolution bar on the way, as well as Ling's, Overlord speed, sorry, and Ling speed. So drops should be in the future here. They were so effective last game, along with those run-bys. And there might be more than one drop. Yeah, I was going to say, this is kind of old school. We don't have a third base. That's something that MarineLorD... Okay, Zuba didn't die, but it also wasn't able to scout. Uh-oh. Oh, that was me. Ooh, jeez.
So, the base lifts. Ursidon, please don't walk under it.
Oh, it's looking. It's like, hey. Okay.
I feel like this thing is just it's a big old dick is what it is. It's here to screw you over. Queens in these overlords. Man, this is straight up Reina all over again. The Lings are going to be putting a lot of pressure on the north side, so MarineLorD might not be looking towards his main, but either way, if this ends up being a bit of a pincer attack, Miniraser's got numbers on his side right now. Not if he loses a lot of the Hellions, but he takes the fight a little preemptively on the north side, so now he's got no support for the drops he just brought in, and there's not that much with the drops.
Yeah, just the Queens that can provide a lot of stability. They can survive for quite some time, but they've already run out of transfuses. The Marines were not touched, and this was just utterly... Oh, God, this was destroyed.
I mean, he's got a gold base, but that's got to be it. Like, there's just not enough damage done here at all.
I really think...
hardly any done.
If MarineLorD doesn't go for these Hellions, it goes for the more... the usual style, I think Miniraser gets us around to the Marines, at least damages them enough. The Queens can take them out, The Hellions really helped on that top side, especially with a little bit of a choke and a ramp, and Miniraser, yeah, he should just be dead. Stim finishes up, again, only one medevac, looks kind of weird, and it's not even out, but... Oh, he did swap eventually. But they're not out quite yet, so maybe he'll survive for a little bit. Oh, he finds the Hellions. There's nothing that Lings can do, and they can't retreat now. Oh, God. Ooh, jeez.
It's a massacre. We do have more drops heading towards the main base, but it's only got two... I don't even know what's inside that. What is that?
Queens.
2 queens, that's it.
Yeah, they need to be back here helping, too. This is game. Yeah. Not sure. Not sure what to expect.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna tie up the series. So Miniraser giving us yet another ace match. GG. Lots of good games for this guy. But that being said, guys, it's been a long time since we played our last ad break, so I think it's about time we try and squeeze one in. So we don't want to delay the players, and we'll see you guys soon.
Hey, welcome back. It is the ace match, and hey, I just talked about this map, Galactic Process, actually, the ace map. Alright then. In the top right, as the blue Terran, he is MarineLorD.
And his opponent at the bottom left, giving us yet another Game 3. It's going to be none other than Invasion's Miniraser.
Yeah. So, it talks about how this is surprisingly not that chosen for what it could have been, you know, the Dusk Towers of the new season. Don't really have a Dusk Towers of the new season, to be honest. Galactic Process would be the closest, just like gameplay-wise, if you don't go for early 3-rack Reaper, that is. Because technically, 3 bases are easy to secure here, you know, as long as the rocks aren't broken down. You can get this base pretty easily, and this base eventually comes down not that far away from your natural, right? But I guess there's so many other reasons to why this isn't super chosen as the first map every time. Always chosen, always sunny, you know, that type of deal. But I think a lot of it, for me anyways, is that, as a Terran player I suppose, is that these rocks don't stay up for very long. You're facing a good Zerg player, in my opinion. Like, they get the lings, they actually send them around, they do, you know, it's better to do something with the lings than nothing, and we've actually seen quite a few games where, you know, the Protoss, you know, they'll wall off here with their gateways and figure that nothing's supposed to be coming from here, and now nothing comes from here with these new rocks being added in. Yet the Zerglings were on these rocks the entire time. So there's a lot of spaces to check, for sure, if you are planning on this, like, macro kind of passive game early on. A Miniraser, he's going to be glad to see that's the only Reaper coming out. There is no 3-rack Reaper. And, in fact, it's going to be the same build for MarineLorD as the past 2 games, it looks like. So I'm feeling the Hellions again, for sure. I think he just likes that little addition.
I mean, actually, MarineLorD, I'm trying to think, him and Euthermal were using Hellbats for a long time in the matchup, but no one else was. I'm wondering if that's kind of a bit of a direction he wants to head with it, or if that was just the causality of the last game.
Yeah. Not really supposed to lose that Reaper, unless there's speedlings, and even then, you try and dodge and weave, so that sucks. And I think it especially sucks because we do have a couple of builds, and Galactic Process has been one of the maps that we've seen it on.
Oh, yeah.
Where Miniraser, like, he could just go for a Baneling attack, basically. Like, he'll get the 3rd, but not drone it up, and then hope to catch MarineLorD before, or as he picks up. And that can be, like, a seriously good timing, but Miniraser's not doing that. He is still droning.
This actually reminds me, too, that, well, we've seen Miniraser through every game today. And we've had these builds out of him that are questionable, and you wonder, like, what's going on. MarineLorD, as good as he is, he's been really good at killing Zergs early. I'm wondering if this actually goes to, like, Galactic Process is a great map. You got the 3 base setup where you made mention of Dust Towers and all that too, like another map where you get 3 bases, but you get 3 bases, possibly 4. You get the macro game going, and does that mean Miniraser gets to run away with the matchup? Because as many times we've cast MarineLorD, we've not seen crazy ghost snipes or great Liberator usage. It's always been like death pushes before things get out of hand.
I was a little curious about the timing on those Baneling nets. It's either because he is trying to not counter necessarily, but have additional units for the push, you know, that has Hellions, where pure Ling maybe doesn't quite cut it, or if it was for the attack that I was talking about. I thought he was going to drone up to enough to saturate his 3rd base, but no, he did stop at 36, which I think is the appropriate number, and he's going to try and hide it. So this is that build I was talking about. You wait for the Medivacs to pick up. This is actually without the Hellions, by the way. Exactly what Bjorn does. And once MarineLorD picks up, it's going to be very hard to drop back down if there's already Lings and Banelings in your main base. The Miniraser sees what is going to be a supply depot wall off if he's not quick about this. He would prefer to just roll in there without having to use the Banelings here. But he's trying to hide them, so they're pretty far away. Oh, I was I was owing, I guess, before that, not just at the Baneling Nest, but because Showtime actually ended up losing to this guy Terminal. Double elimination and all that, but that's a nice win for Terminal for sure.
And thank you for bringing that up. Just that reminder that this is still the winner's bracket too. This isn't anything too crazy yet. So both players still have lives to fall back on, even though this is the last match in this series.
Okay, so he definitely knows the medevacs are gone now, but the thing is, he should be rolling in. He should actually be rolling in right now, and I'm not sure why he's not. Because I think the ideal scenario is that they are not far enough gone that the better option is to pull back, and then they drop on top of your Lings. If they're so far gone that they end up just unloading and attacking in here... Oh, okay, never mind. He has defenses. Okay, then this is perfectly played. Never mind. Some Miniraser just like MarineLorD's awkward, so awkward. He's like running back with some Marines, but not all.
That bunker is doing a great job. The SimCity created with it's even better, but that Bailey looking to pop off on all the SCV.
Oh Jesus!
There's one more thing to follow that up. The Lings are chasing it. The bunker does fall, but just barely not enough out of Miniraser. There's more on the way though. MarineLorD's got to quickly consolidate his defenses. That's a lot of Lings running through the middle of the map. More Banelings are on the way, and that bunker is long gone.
I think that's an excessive amount of Banelings, to be honest. But he does need to take care of the Marines that all got back home. So it's 20 Marines still alive. The reinforcements came in. The ones in the bunker ended up living because there was no Banelings to take them out. And that's still, yeah, something he definitely needs Banelings for. Oh, something being target fired. Oh, Jesus. He's actually just give up. There's no Lings to help here. And oh my God, every single one's being targeted.
Oh, he just made a huge mistake stopping the bottom of the ramp like that. What am I going to get a pop off here too? But he still gets on top of a lot of the Marines with the remaining Banelings. Not a lot left though. And Miniraser out of steam.
Imagine if, like, oh God.
That might even just be game actually. Look at the worker count still alive for MarineLorD, albeit all almost dead. Look at the army count. I mean, just so much. He's got 1-1 finishing up in a second. Miniraser's hitting with another all-in, but there's 7 Banelings. 6 of them are needed for that wall, and I don't even know if he'll get that wall down easily.
Yeah, and it's really not this consistent flood of Lings. It's really coming in waves here, so he's got to wait for these 40-ish Lings coming out now, and MarineLorD should be fine. Like, that's a huge problem on that ramp with those Banelings. He has 3 more Banelings still actually living and chasing down the Marines. He's probably won, but that didn't work out as expected. This Woodamine's gonna get a glorious hit, I bet. Oh God, no. Oh God. No. It doesn't even need to hit. It does get one, but...
It does get one, yeah. Lots of green goes flying.
This one gets a decent shot on those Lings too. Focus fire on the Banelings. And production should be enough, especially with an SCV pool. Yeah, in fact, the medevac healing is enough. And this entire time, I guess MarineLorD's had this 1-1. I mean, that's helped out so much when it is just these last amount of Lings against these last amount of Marines. Combat shields might even finish. I mean, Miniraser can't go back to macro. He's gotta try and just all in every single time. Okay, GG. Oh, that almost worked.
See the end of Miniraser.
In the winner's bracket.
Yeah, he had a really good run though. I mean, again, as you said, winner's bracket. So there's still the loser's bracket. Miniraser's still in the tournament. Yada yada yada. But he had a pretty good run in the winner's bracket. I gotta say, he took on some pretty tough opponents. Cost, TLO, and then even going to the ace match with MarineLorD.
Yeah. There was a few other, maybe upset's not quite the right word. I'm sure Showtime's expected to get very far always, but I'm looking more at Strange 2-0ing Bly. That could be because Bly has been a little bit wonkier than usual, like very, very hit or miss, more than ever before, or it's because Bly's at Gamescom.
It could be the Gamescom aspect of it, certainly, but also Strange is a pretty good Protoss, and
yeah,
that matchup...
he's on the up and up. Sure. So, the same thing's going to happen with Scarlet in the North American qualifiers.
Well, while I don't know what happened in that game, I'm guessing it was like 3 proxy hatcheries and something, and Strange figured it out. I mean, Bly has been a bit of a one-trick pony lately versus Protoss.
That's true. Not quite enough time to go to a break. I guess, do you want to follow this to Terminal, who we don't really know?
Did Richu and Strange already start?
I think they have, but we could wait for Snoot versus Harstem, because Harstem DNS has been
I would actually be okay waiting for that. I love casting Snoot, and Harstem's one of my favorite players, so I'm down for both of those guys fighting.
Okay. I swear Harstem DNS has been in a match for some time. DNS beat Daishi, Harstem beat somebody named Pox.
It's PvP. I mean, those either go really, really long or not. Like, it's not a lot in between, I guess. But, so yeah, we'll wait for those two. That'll be kind of fun. I guess I'll get you to poke Snoot, because typing sucks for me, and I'm a baby. And...
Sure.
Yeah, so, man, I'm hoping to be back to full strength sooner than later. I know a lot of people have been asking, some trolling, all these ventriloquist jokes in chat, guys, but as it still stands, my update is I still can't really move around much. My arms don't do things. Tomorrow I have a set of x-rays that'll give me a more accurate idea of how far I've come healing. I've had 3 x-rays in total. This will be my 4th set. And this one should tell me basically their last estimate was you should be completely mobile again by like August 25th. Then I tripped and probably reset some stuff, which kind of sucks. So this next set of x-rays should give me a idea of what's up.
That sucks. Well, I did tell Snoots. He hasn't responded. I'll be keeping an eye on if Arsene and Dina's come out of game, I suppose. But we are going to go to a break, maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah, we'll probably just out the break screen, guys. We got a lot to cast today, and we don't want to wear ourselves out too early. So ideally, it's Hearthstone versus Snoot coming up. But if DNS beats Hearthstone, that's going to be equally cool. So DNS or Hearthstone versus Snoot whenever we come back from the break. So check back in like 5 or so minutes, and we'll see you guys soon.